with this, I will move on to the next eminent speaker for the panel, Mr. L. Pugazhenthy, Executive Director, ILZIDA. I would say metal market outlook 2020-25 would be incomplete without Mr. Pug's expert comments on lead and
Absolutely.
zinc and batteries as well. Over to you, Mr. Pug.
Am I audible, Binaji?
Absolutely.
Good.
Yes, yes. I
Good
think we are
morning.
all
Good morning,
Good morning.
Binaji, and
good
my
morning.
esteemed friend Chandru.
Good
And
morning.
also nice to see esteemed speakers like Sandeep Jain and Jitendra Shahji. More importantly, very pleased to meet Sunil Mardiaji also. I must compliment Metal Trends for launching this initiative. I think now more or less the world has come to virtual mode, physical meetings. People don't want to attend, travel, etc. Either it's hybrid or virtual. And I'm sure this is a good beginning and to start with metals market outlook. In future, probably I don't know how to invite the audience from other countries, Bangladesh or maybe Southeast Asia and West Asia, how to pull them and join. Well, they will all be very happy to join this kind of a forum. We are talking in similar language, similar experiences in these regions, unlike an overseas speaker from US or European Union, etc. And Chandru's presentation was really excellent, very specific on steel and aluminium, interest rates, protectionism, etc. In fact, the subject itself was very fascinating when Beenaji spoke to me. I'm a metals man all along, from my university education and also career-wise all through. I've been mostly in non-ferrous industry. I was also with SR Group, Mitchell Group, and also I launched the Sponge Iron Manufacturers Association in the 90s. So I'm more or less, as a metallurgist, I'm wedded to both steel and non-ferrous metals. And I'm not having any PowerPoint presentation. It's going to be more like a storytelling. And Binaji asked me, I said, rather than talking with a PowerPoint presentation, best is to keep talking so that people listen and then let provoke its questions in their minds. And the first point that occurs to my mind, for a long time, the world was talking about countries should give away protection measures, etc. This has been going on for a long time, WTO and remove tariffs, barriers, etc. But now I see distinctly, once again, the narrow protectionism is rising its head everywhere. You have been hearing about South Korea wanting to impose dumping duty, South Africa wanting to do that, and India has found a nice way of calling it as safeguard duty. The steel minister has recently spoken about imposing a 25% safeguard duty. Very nicely put in, I would say, diplomatically, to protect the domestic steel industry, MSME sector, and also the buyers of steel. So this is how the world is going. And to be very frank, if you look at protection, history of protection, 3 years back, Europe started with the carbon border adjustment mechanism, CBAM. It's actually an indirect tax tariff barrier, indirect tariff barrier. And as you know, Europe has been facing a sluggish demand, high energy costs, high production costs, high inflation, and therefore they want to insulate European Union from other countries like China, India, etc. And that's why they devised this, and which is not really a very healthy trend, CBAM. Just having carbon as a main subject in the trade negotiations and trying to stop imports from other countries, CBAM. And for instance, India also, we have been very liberal. People have been asking us to reduce duties, etc. The recent budget, if you remember, the duty, basic custom duty on steel scrap, copper, lead zinc, cobalt powder, lithium ion battery scrap, and 11 critical minerals. The basic custom duty has been removed, which is a very good thing. India has been very open on this kind of encouraging trade flows from other countries. Now, once you bring down the basic custom duty on the scrap of lead, zinc, copper, etc., this is going to encourage our recycling industry in a big way. Rather than depending on primary ores or concentrate, you'll be having plenty of non-ferrous metals flowing in, cobalt powder, which you would need for electric vehicles, etc. So this is the way India has been changing. Now, I was talking about European Union. For a long time, we were having trade earlier through Africa, a long distance route. Then recently, maybe 1 or 2 years back, we developed that Indo Middle East Economic Corridor, IMEC as we call it, Indo Middle East Economic Corridor, which would have really benefited our exports freight wise, delivery wise. We would have been in a very advantageous position. But unfortunately, this IMEC, Indo Middle East Economic Corridor, has not taken shape at all because of the West Asian war, etc. This is getting delayed. Once this is open, this is going to open a great opportunity for India to increase exports to European Union, despite whatever tariff protection they have. India also has been trying, as you know, for a long time, FTA talks with India, European Union, and also India, UK FTA. It's been getting delayed because they just want to buy the time because they know China, India, they're big producers, big volume producers, big manufacturing base in metal sector, all metals rather. So they are a little afraid that they will become, after China, India will become a big exporter. That's why they are dilly-dallying this FTA talks between European Union and UK. Coming to the next point, Chandru was talking about China's slowdown. For a long time, 3-4 years back, we used to talk China and India are the fastest growing economies in the world, which is very true. India 6.3%, double the world average growth rate of 3.2, which Chandru projected, almost double the global economic growth. So that's a good sign. The China slowdown, I would say, I don't know whether you all noticed very recently after Trump taking over, he was directing China in a big way. I'm going to impose duty on you to discourage you, etc. Therefore, the Chinese president recently called captains of all the private sector enterprises in China, in Beijing, a big hall, a big meeting, where he asked them, please step up your investments, set up new plants, increase domestic consumption. He's a little worried. Once America imposes a big duty, already 25% was announced. So once this kind of a thing comes, so China will be having an excess supply of finished products, steel or non-ferrous, or maybe the various castings and forgings, etc. So they are a little worried. That's why he's very keen private investment to trigger domestic consumption in China. Otherwise, China slowdown will be really more aggressive, and that will be a very irretrievable position. Trump factor, I think our friend Chandru talked so much. Ever since Trump 1-0 was okay, Joe Biden, I hardly felt any turbulence in the world, politically or economically. Trump 2-0, from day one, it has been very scary. He has been talking about taking over Greenland and taking over Panama Canal, and then talking about tariff on Canada, China, Mexico, and this kind of he is creating ripples, I would say. And Canada, he wants to annex as the 51st state. Can you believe? This is expansionism. Everybody was against expansionism about China, etc., a few decades ago. Now he wants to annex Canada as the 51st state. And that's very sad. I'm sorry to hear this kind of the largest democracy in the world behaving like this, trying to take over. And very recently, yesterday, I think it's mentioned, or day before yesterday, there should be peace in Ukraine, otherwise Ukraine will not be there in the global map. Can you believe this? So this kind of ripples and disturbances really creating a very scary situation, which is going to affect the metals market and global economy also. And he has been saying for a long time that India is a high taxing nation. He's been targeting us. When Trump came, I used to read when China was scared. When China was scared about this Trump effect, Indian newspaper said the great opportunity for India to increase our exports to US, etc. But he has been saying for the last few days, I told Mr. Modi when he met me, I'm going to impose taxes on you, wait for some time. He's calling it reciprocal taxation. Maybe April he will do that. So India also is in the hit list. So we have to find out where we can export to Southeast Asia, West Asia, Africa, other countries where growth is there, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, many other countries are there, not necessarily depend on the UAS. And very recently, you all know, Elon Musk met Prime Minister during his visit. In a few weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, Elon Musk has already announced an electric vehicle car production plant in India. He has already advertised for recruitments. He has already advertised for retailer network. And that's a big, just few days only. See the momentum in that guy, Elon Musk. And yesterday, day before yesterday, again, our friend Trump has said, why make electric cars in India alone? Make it in US and export to. So everything wants to be in US only. Elon Musk knows after China, India is a big story for automobiles. You have South Korea here, you have Japanese vehicles here, and they all have been having a roaring success, whether two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, coaches, Volvo, whatever. Everything is here in this country. So Trump is worried. Why go there to India to set up an electric vehicle car? And once Elon Musk has mentioned about Tesla factory in India for electric cars, the Indian automobile industry is in jitters. Tatas, Mahindras, and whoever were making electric vehicles, cars, etc., they really must be having nightmare, and they would like to go to the government of India, heavy industries ministry, and ask for indirect protection, etc. So this is kind of a big development is taking in the last few days. And the other point I want to mention is, if you all remember, after the Afghan war and Iran-Iraq war, there's a talk about bringing about peace in Ukraine and West Asia also. That's why I'm mentioning this. After the last war in Afghanistan and Iran-Iraq, immediately after there was a lot of cleanup, lot of generation of war scrap started coming, and that was a great thing. War scrap, mainly for steel scrap, which can be used for steel making, etc. So I fear there will going to be maybe another 6 months or 1 year. There will be plenty of scrap after this war is over in these two countries, which will be good for steel, for secondary steel making, not necessarily to depend on the iron ore, etc. Coming to our lead zinc industry, I'm going to come to this now. The global production last few years, it has been around, lead production is around 13.5 million tons, and zinc is around 14 million, and we have been seeing 6 to 7, 8% growth for the last few years, mainly from emerging economies, China, India, South Korea, BRIC countries, etc., and also Southeast Asia, South Africa, etc. And India also, we have been seeing about 7%, 6% growth rate in zinc production, primary zinc. This year we should be making about 9.5 to 10 lakh tons of zinc, which is good. Maybe about 1.5 to 2 lakh tons of zinc being exported. The rest goes for domestic market. Similarly, primary lead also 2.5 lakh tons primary lead for Hindustan zinc. That's going to be the expected production. India is known for a large secondary lead industry. 1.5 tons of recycled lead from used lead batteries. Plenty of domestic batteries plus imported scrap batteries plus imported RML coming into the country, and that's really made more than primary production. Our secondary production, secondary usage is high. In fact, I would say lead industry is the one which has been practicing circular economy for the last 40, 50 years. We are all talking about circular economy today, sustainable development today, net zero regimes today. But we started practicing recycling of lead. When we started making ambassador cars or Fiat cars, whatever be the numbers were very, very small. But today you have plenty of lead available in the country because of multiple applications, auto batteries, batteries used in rail coaches, batteries used in inverters, batteries used in UPS, etc. Everything is coming for recycling, reuse, recycling. It goes on indefinitely. So this is a big activity in this country, circular economy with respect to lead. And this is going to be the growing trend. As Chandru said, renewable energy is going to open a big gate, already has opened a big gate for lead batteries for storage purpose, energy storage purposes, mainly solar. Maybe I think the investment wind also will pick up, and that also is going to open additional market for lead batteries. Electric vehicles, that is a new game, you all know that. And this electric vehicle, India, many others have been saying, India is already ahead. Plenty of e-rickshaws, three-wheelers, electric scooters, boys and girls going to college or working for technology parks, they're all going in electric scooter and charged during their office hours. And also electric buses in Mumbai, metros, Delhi, and many other places. Electric buses have started flying. So we already started in a big way, and we are increasing our infrastructure for charging. Policies have come and companies have already started. Apart from making electric vehicles, they are also going to start charging stations like you have oil, petrol pumps, etc. on the highways and cities. So electric vehicles, companies are starting in a big way. And the recent budget announcement has really opened a big investment for infrastructure, about 21 lakh crores for investment in infrastructure, which includes railways, highways, power, telecom, and renewable energy, etc. And that's going to be a big effort, and this has been taking place in this country for a long time for galvanizing application. Zinc is used for galvanizing of steel for to prevent corrosion protection, and this kind of an application has been there in use for a long time in power transmission line towers, telecom towers, railway electrification towers, and this is expanding in highways, highway guardrails you must be seeing. And this infrastructure development in this country is something unique. World-class infrastructure, highways, etc., airports, and things have changed. Even railway stations, we want to give new look and all that has been take place in many places. So the infrastructure growth is a big one, which is going to boost a big demand for steel, and in turn, corrosion protection of the exposed steel. In fact, I would say any exposed steel in public infrastructure in this country should be galvanized because it's going to give maintenance free corrosion protection for 40, 50 years. You start painting them every 2 years, you have to paint them. But if you galvanize, you don't have to do any maintenance in between. Like many places, we have this kind of foot over bridge, railings. In parks, you have steel structures. All this should be galvanized. You only invest once for corrosion protection, and that lasts for generations. So that's going to be a big infrastructure growth. Is going to be a big activity. And coming to die casting, zinc is used for die casting, auto components, etc. Aluminum also is used there, aluminum alloys. And here I would say India, apart from auto components, we should go for non-automotive applications like builders hardware, toys, decorative components. These are all things where die casting can be a big game changer. You can have big volume production, export to other countries, etc. And lead, I already told you, this is used in multiple applications. Both lead and zinc is going to trigger a great growth in steel industry, to galvanizing, and also electric vehicles. I forgot to tell you, all of your thinking is going to be based on lithium-ion batteries. Therefore, lead battery demand will go. Let me tell you, lithium batteries in electric vehicles will give the motive power for providing auxiliary power support in those electric cars, like interior lighting or raising the window glasses or music system. For all those, you will have one lead battery also. That means one lithium ion battery also will be there, and one lead battery also will be there in electric vehicles. So that's going to increase our market for lead, and in fact, so these are the things I wanted to share with you. And if you have any questions, maybe I'll come back to you later with my answers. Okay, thank you very much, Beenaji.
Thank you, Mr. Pug.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely erudite speech extempore. But you brought the geopolitical angle so well. Everything is becoming so unpredictable.
Learn from you. Learn from you. Learn from you.
That's where insights into the market become important. That's where risk management becomes important. That's where forward guidance to market participants becomes important.
Absolutely.
So anyway, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank
Very
you, Mr.
truly
Pug.
said, sir. Very truly observed. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Pug,
you,
for your
thank you.
illuminating talk and highly informative
you.
session. Your contribution in navigating our fellow members from zinc and lead sector through various reports of is commendable. Thank you once again.